Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be talking about the differences between anxiety, depression, and sadness. A lot of times on Twitter, on Facebook, people tend to mix these up. If you ask people what they're actually going through, and then they explain to you that they've lost their job, or they lost their car, or they are sitting at home unemployed, or they lost a family member. And people tend to sometimes misdiagnose themselves and say I am depressed, when they're actually going through a period in their life which is normal, of losing a job or making a bad financial decision and having to overcome it, and then diagnosing themselves as depressed or having anxiety, when it's actually another thing like sadness or stress. Most people that are going through these things are university people, like students. They're misdiagnosing themselves and say they're stressed, or they are depressed, or they're going through very tense times in their lives, so they make hasty decisions because of all the emotions that they're going through, and they can't deal with that, and they commit things like suicide, or they cut themselves, or they do very, very hurtful things to themselves. And I think it's best that I talk about this topic, because I've gone through the depression and the sadness. I haven't gone through anxiety, I don't think, that much, because I've always found a way to deal with emotions. Now and then, when I think about some of the things that I've gone through, all those emotions come back, but not in a dangerous way. I've had friends and family members that have gone through similar things as well, and sometimes I sit back and I think about how difficult some things are to deal with, and you don't really understand what somebody's going through. Even if you went through the same thing, people deal with emotions differently. So yeah, I'm going to start with an anxiety. Anxiety is always being tense, having jitters when you're meant to make decisions, when you're put in a tense situation, or when you're put under pressure, you're not able to overcome that, and all these emotions rush and they build up in your body, and they cause you to crack under pressure, and it causes you to burst out emotions that you don't necessarily understand. When you think about it afterwards, you're like, why did I do this? Why did I make a decision like this? Why did I hit this person? Or why did I make such a bad decision out of character? That's my best definition of anxiety. Then it's depression. Depression is more a build-up of a lot of negative emotions. I'll describe it as digging a hole, digging a hole, and you dig that hole so deep, and you climb into it. And there are some holes that you dig so deep, it's like, like a grave. You dig so deep, you can't climb out of a grave if it's too deep. You have to get help from other people, or you have to get a ladder. I see that as depression. You've dug a hole out of negative results and life situations that you've gone through. It can be losing a car, it can be losing a family member, it can be getting kicked out of your apartment. It can be all these various things that have built up into one emotion, and it just keeps digging. You just keep digging more and more into sadness, more and more into anxiety, more and more into such negative emotions, and you can't seem to find a way out of that. You can have depression. You can even have depression even if you're well off in life. You can be plagued with episodes where you just burst out negativity, or you just don't see positive things in a positive light. You don't find anything that can be a solution to problems that you're facing, and you can try so hard to try to cover that up with money, and you cover that up with being surrounded by family. But if you do not properly diagnose yourself, first of all, if you go to a doctor and the doctor says you're depressed, it is easier to deal with that, because there's actions that you can take in order to sort that out. It is harder to help yourself if you haven't gone to the doctor, and you've put yourself more in a hole by not being able to reach out to other people. So this causes you to take actions like cutting yourself, like committing suicide, just being a pessimist, if I can say that. All those emotions that just build up into one thing, and it puts you in a corner and you can't make any decisions, leading you to want to commit suicide or do any decision that you will not take back. One thing that I know, you can do many things in life that are bad to you and hurt you, but one thing that you can't do to yourself, or if you do it and can't take back, is suicide. You can't come back, guys, to the same life that you were living. And sadness sometimes makes you think that you need to make that decision, and that's where I'll be going into now. Sadness is a period or a state of your life where unlucky things just happen to you. Maybe you lose your job, maybe you get kicked out of your apartment, where the routine things that you're doing are just not working for you, and you experience a state of sadness because you're very unlucky at that specific time. And a lot of people just tend to give up because they maybe haven't necessarily dealt with tough times in their lives. So when they met with these things, when they happen, when they leave home, it's very difficult to deal with them because it's not something that they've practiced. Some households just don't teach how to be a tough person. You can just be taught, or be in a cycle of being taught to be spoiled, or at school you might not be in an environment where it is tense in terms of handling tough times, financial times, emotional times, relationship times, and that's perfectly normal. And it's just, sadness is just something that you have to get over. So yeah, guys, that is my three definitions of the 3 states of being sad. If you feel differently to what I'm saying, you can comment below. We can get talking and we can get everything straight. I think it's very important for us to share our experiences and our definitions, because somebody out there might be going through this, and if you're going through it, speak out. Even if it's a little bit, keep your phone on and make sure that you're communicating with people so they can help you, because somebody out there has gone through what you're going through and has maybe dealt with it or felt these emotions that you're feeling now and found a way around it. I know we all go through things differently, but we're so many people on earth, bruh. Somebody definitely has gone through what you're going through and they can help you, and all you have to do is speak up. Do best to speak up before you make any tough decisions. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please like it, please subscribe, please support the boy as I get onto this YouTube journey. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing to my channel, to those who have, and keep showing love, and make yourselves known so I can send shout outs to some people that comment. Away, guys, seeing you on the next one.